All right, welcome back to Talkin' Shirt, the Contract DTG podcast. I'm Mo, and as always, I've got Mark Bolitnikoff with me. Today, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of managing customer expectations and complaints. Mark, you ready to get a little uncomfortable?
Oh, I was born uncomfortable, Mo. Let's do it. I always say if you're in custom apparel and you haven't had a customer freak out over a missed deadline or a crooked print, you're either brand new, unrealistic, or you're flat out lying to yourself.
Yeah, and honestly, half the battle is just setting the tone right from the start. I mean, I've learned, sometimes the hard way, that if you don't have those upfront conversations about timelines, proofs, and what you can or can't do, you're just asking for trouble. People want to know what to expect, and if you leave it vague, they'll fill in the blanks with their own ideas. Usually, those ideas are way more optimistic than reality.
Exactly. And it's not just about dumping a bunch of info on them either. You got to make it clear, but not overwhelming. Like we use automated emails for order confirmations and proofs, but I'll still pick up the phone if something's weird or if it's a big order. There's nothing like a quick call to clear up confusion before it turns into a disaster.
Totally. I mean, I've had customers who just don't read emails, like, at all. So sometimes you gotta follow up with a text or even a DM if that's how they reached out. It's about meeting them where they are, right? And being proactive. If you know you're running behind, don't wait for them to ask. Just tell them. People appreciate honesty, even if it's not what they want to hear.
Yeah, and speaking of honesty, let me tell you about this rush order we had last year. Customer needed 200 shirts for a charity event, like in 3 days. We said, look, we can do it, but you got to approve the artwork by noon, and payments got to be in by 2. Well, they missed the proof deadline, and I had to call and say, hey, we're not going to make your event if we don't get this moving. They were frustrated, but because we'd laid it all out up front, they didn't walk away angry. We ended up getting the order done, barely, but if I hadn't been clear, that could have been a total meltdown.
That's the thing. Clarity saves relationships. And it's not just about covering your own butt. It's about building trust. If you're upfront about what's possible, people are way more forgiving when things go sideways. And honestly, things will go sideways. That's just the business. So, let's talk about what happens when things do go sideways. Because let's be real, no matter how good your process is, you're going to get complaints. Fit issues, print errors, shipping delays, you name it. The key is how you respond. Mark, you want to walk us through your approach?
Yeah, so first thing, don't get defensive. I know it's tempting, especially when you know you did everything right on your end, but you got to stay calm and listen. Like, really listen. I had a customer call in furious because their shirts were all wrong. Instead of jumping in with excuses, I just let them vent. Then I asked, can you tell me exactly what's off? Turns out it was a sizing issue. They'd ordered unisex, but expected women's cuts. Easy fix, but if I'd just argued, it would have blown up.
That's huge. I think a lot of folks skip the listening part and go straight to defending themselves. But if you just let people talk, you can usually get to the real problem. And sometimes it's not even about the shirt. It's about how they feel. They want to know you care.
Exactly. And, let's do a quick role play. Mo, you be the angry customer. Hit me with your best shot.
All right, here we go. Mark, I got my shirts and the print is crooked. I paid a lot for these and now I can't use them for my event. What are you going to do about it?
First, I'd say, I'm really sorry to hear that, and I totally get how frustrating that is. Can you send me a photo so I can see what happened? I want to make this right for you. Then, once I see the issue, I'd explain what went wrong. Maybe the pallet shifted, maybe it was a registration error. I'd offer a reprint or a refund depending on what they need. And I'd follow up to make sure they're happy with the solution.
That's textbook, but it works. And I think the honesty part is what really matters. If you messed up, own it. If it's a misunderstanding, explain it without making the customer feel dumb. People can smell BS a mile away. And honestly, when you handle complaints well, those customers often come back. They remember how you treated them, not just the mistake.
And sometimes those tough conversations are what build the strongest relationships. I mean, we talked about this in our quality control episode. Mistakes happen, but how you fix them is what sets you apart. If you're honest, transparent, and quick to offer a solution, you turn a bad situation into a chance to earn loyalty.
And don't forget, every complaint is feedback. It's a chance to improve your process, your product, or your communication. If you treat complaints like opportunities instead of annoyances, your business will be better for it. All right, so you fixed the problem. Now what? This is where a lot of folks drop the ball. Following up after an issue is resolved is just as important as the fix itself. I like to send a quick email or even a handwritten thank you if it was a big deal. Sometimes I'll throw in a discount or a freebie just to show I appreciate their patience.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I used to think that was overkill, but I've seen it work. We had a botched order for a local pizza shop. Wrong color, wrong size, just a mess. We reprinted everything, delivered it ourselves, and included a handwritten note and a coupon for their next order. Not only did they stick with us, but they started sending all their merch business our way. That recovery plan turned a disaster into a partnership.
That's the power of a thoughtful follow-up. But let's talk about surveys and loyalty programs for a second. I'm kind of torn. On one hand, surveys can give you great feedback, but sometimes people just ignore them or use them to vent. Loyalty programs, same thing. They can work, but only if they actually add value. What do you think?
I'm with you. Surveys are hit or miss. If you make it easy, like a one-click rating or a super short form, you'll get more responses. But if it's a novel, forget it. Loyalty programs, I don't know. I've seen them work for bigger brands, but for small shops, sometimes just remembering a customer's name and what they ordered last time goes further than any point system.
Yeah, I think the personal touch is what matters most, especially in custom apparel. People want to feel seen, whether it's a thank you note, a quick check-in, or just remembering their kid's name. That's what keeps them coming back. And if you do mess up, how you handle it is what they'll remember.
Couldn't agree more. And hey, if you're listening and you want to work with folks who actually care about getting it right, mistakes and all, head over to contract-dtg.com and get a quote. We'll treat you like a human, not just an order number.
All right, that's it for today. Mark, always a pleasure. We'll be back next time with more real talk about the custom apparel grind. Take care, everybody.
See ya, Mo. See ya, folks. Don't forget, keep it honest, keep it real, and keep those shirts coming.